ArrDee. How you doing?
I'm good. What's going on? You all right?
I'm good. It's really good to meet you because it's been about a year since 6am in Brighton.
Yeah,
And
literally round about now.
Yeah, your life has changed so much in that time. Did you see this coming? Did you see this as yourself in 365 days?
Oh, I wanted to say yeah to that question, because obviously I'm a heavy pusher of the whole manifesting, and you have to know that you're that person before you're that person to become it. But in 365 days, I might be capping in it. I might be lying. So it was a massive trajectory into just going into everything. And obviously certain things that we planned got kind of flipped on its head because of other things that happened that pushed it further than what we'd expected. But this was definitely the plan, as in it was meant to happen, but maybe in 2 years, not one.
Were you ready for how abruptly your life changed?
Yeah, 100%. I was ready before it happened. It literally, when I say this in other people that I've spoke to and whatnot, I say if I was to write a book in X amount of years' time, exactly in the timeline of when this happened was so novelly, it was the perfect, it felt at the time that it was going to happen. I knew it was just, everything was meant to happen exactly how it happened in it, and it was a long time coming in terms of how hard I worked for 4 or 5 years beforehand. So yeah 100%.
I was listening back to our interview we did last June. You're a different man then.
Yeah.
And you were talking
fresh-faced,
and this is not a long time ago. And you were talking then about still being able to kind of pop to the shops in Brighton and still feeling like a local guy. Do you still feel like that?
Yeah, of course. That's my gaff, man.
But can you still just pop to the shops and it be normal?
It depends what, obviously, Brighton, the same way that you you're in London, you've got central London, and you've got south, east, etc, etc. So it depends. If I'm in the centre of Brighton, the mall, I get stopped in quite a lot because it's younger people, you got JD Sports in there and things like that, Foot Locker and that might get a bit mad. But in terms of Brighton in general, it's just such a non-judging, giving a beep town that, I still, maybe it's just the fact that because it's my town and I love it so much and it made me who I am, I just feel comfortable enough to go around and I don't notice it as much. But when I'm in different towns in London, I'm very wary of they're looking, they're coming over, and we just need to move fast, innit? But no, I'd still say overall, I can bop around Brighton and it's fine.
You walk around the marina?
The marina, yeah, it depends what part of the marina again, innit? There are some restaurants that are older crowd and it's not too deep. All the restaurant owners and that coming out, let's get a picture and sit down and what do you want? And they're all bringing shots to the table and that. I was going to say, I still go to the Brighton clubs regularly, which obviously ain't like London clubs in terms of bottle popping, bougie and blah, blah, blah. And that still happens and it's not that deep. I go with a couple people around me that make sure nothing's getting filmed and going mad and that. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's too bad, even all now.
In that interview as well, the most expensive thing you had bought or the place where you'd spent your most money was Kick Game back in June. Have things changed since then? We've had 5 top 10 singles in a year. I'm guessing there have been some bigger expenses since then.
Yeah, there's been a couple, yeah.
Where are we at now? Where's the big receipt from now? Because it's not Kick Game anymore.
The biggest? As in the biggest one?
Yeah.
I bought my mum a house, innit? Yeah, got myself a couple nice bits as well, but even that, I don't spend a lot of money on clothes. A lot of the clothes I'm wearing, I connect with different brands and build relationships and do it like that. I'm not too materialistic. Watches I like, which is a newfound hobby of mine, but even that, I'm not getting ones that just bust down flashy and I'm walking around. It's more I get a little watch and it's nice and I know it's going up in value. You part that off and put it in the box and save that for a rainy day kind of thing.
We're going to talk about the video you shot exclusively for the agenda, Late Night Driving. Why did you pick that song in particular?
Do you know what? It was a thing of, obviously the support was great as well, but that song meant something different to me. And I felt in terms of musically, it needed to be shared in a different light. And obviously, Apple had shown love quite early on from the beginning anyway, in terms of just playlisting and connecting back and forth. And it was created at a time where I was flying about so much. Obviously, I talk about not seeing my mum for ages. It was wrote quite early on. It was wrote in a car on the way to a studio session quite far out. I can't remember exactly where it was. And I just thought, you know what, the idea of me being so gone clear and not seeing my mum and everything like that kind of made sense to link up with Apple and make that happen with them. Because it's I'm in this big, obviously if you've seen the video, big studios and it's big production, but I'm there kind of, not I'm not happy about it, but it's I remember times when I was back home and we weren't busy and I weren't away from mum for months at a time and things like that. So yeah, in my head it made sense.
What has been the hardest part of fame for you? Because on the track you talk about it feeling lonely at times. What's been the hardest part of it?
I was just about to say that. More time is trust. Like, I come from a small town, innit? And no one, without like tooting my own trumpet or disregarding what other people have done. Obviously, there are bare cold artists, Rag and Bone Man, Riddle Kicks and everything. But in terms of in my debut year as an artist, no one from my town has done anything near of what I've done. So it's like I've still got a lot of the same people around me. And I don't even have a reason not to trust them, but it's like where we're going around now, it's like, oh, how much did I see you before? Or like, do you want to be around, man, because I got peas and you know that if I'm going out, I'm looking after everyone. But yeah, I don't expect man to not want things, especially I wrote a song about it where I say, if I'm the main provider in the room, you need a slice that you can chew. That's at its simplest. Like, that's just us at our basic animal instincts. Like, so yeah, I don't know. In the back of my head, it's more like,
do you feel obliged, because you're young, do you feel obliged to look after your friends? Because you are clearly, like, you're at a phase in your life, financially, even if we take away the fame, financially, where so many people your age may never get to.
Yeah.
Do you feel this obligation to, like, look after your friends?
It depends in what sense. Like, not in life, because you see how I got to where I got to. No, like, obviously I had help morally, but in terms of, like, the proper graft and, like, the hustle, you probably can get taught it and learn it, but sometimes if the hustle's in you, it is, and if it ain't in your blood, then it's not in your blood. So even if I try to put on everyone and traject them into doing mad things in life, like if I got put on like that, I might not have been as hungry to last and push my way to the top as fast as I did. So I wouldn't say obligated, but obviously my close people to me that I know I've got that work ethic and they got a plan or something, then yeah, I'm happy to help. But then the flip side of that is like going out on nights out, partying, clubbing in Brighton, especially because it's not that expensive. Like if I'm bringing all of my lot out and you got grafters and certain man doing certain things, like, I'm not expecting everyone, like if I'm paying for the bottles and that, cool, like come grab the bottle and have a drink and that, you get me? But
because surely when you go out to eat with your mates, you're not splitting the bill anymore.
Nah.
It's like pasta.
Yeah, so there's certain things like that. And even that, like certain times, I know, we're like, yo, let's go get food. And then there's like 20 men coming and they've all got like, yeah, let's go get some food. And it's like, well, we've gone for food so many times and you know I'm getting the bill. So it's like, is that why you're shouting man to go get food? Or is it because I'm so busy and we're linking about and obviously we're old school friends from 10 years that you just want to see me? And in my head, it's kind of unfair because where it's happened so fast, it kind of makes me think, you know, people would talk about money changing them and how I'd never want that to happen to me. It's like, oh, well, if I'm thinking like that and I'm judging this person, even though in their head, I might not have changed to them. So it's still, and they never ask me to pay for nothing when I'm with all them and them. So yeah, it's like a...
How do you navigate that then? Because you want to be the same person.
Yeah, you don't navigate it. there is no real way because you'll never really know. You can't ask, man, because if you ask, man, they're going to be like, no, of course not, you're my guy and I love you and blah, blah, blah. I always say, the further you get into like this whole fame thing and like being in the limelight, it's like the more and more love you receive, the faker it feels. Not in terms of like music and things like that, but just in life and in general. Like you walk into a room and there's 40 man spudding and hugging you this time, whereas a year ago there'd be like 10 man and then not other people would notice. It's like, oh yeah, I'm getting all this love, but is it really real though? But yeah, like I said, you just kind of navigate it as it comes and you adjust to it. And I'm young and I'm sure I'll get more and more used to it as times go on. Like you said, it's not necessarily normal for a man my age in the amount of time I've done it to have access to all these kind of things that I can do for people. So that's why I'm saying half I get it. If it was my bridging that I'd been close with and we've done things together for ages and I needed a favour, I might not feel nowhere being like, yo, I beg you just grab that for me, innit? So it's give and take.
ArrDee, we've known you for about a year, but I feel like there's so much we don't actually know about you.
All right.
I want to ask you a few questions just to get to know you a bit better.
Go for it, mate.
All right. So first things first ever album you bought?
Oh, that's a good question, you know.
In fact, are you even from the buying album era?
Yeah. Well, like, I'm not, but like I kind of fell in love with it, kind of thing. My mum gave me a what's this? The CD thing that Sony made, where like you put
Discman.
Discman. I had one of them.
The fact that you're talking about it like it's an artifact makes me feel sick.
I had one of them in my book bag in primary school, bruv. Allow me. But yeah, I think the first one, it was either Curtain Calls, the hits by Eminem. Or might have been Get Rich or Die Trying was definitely one of the first. Encore maybe. But it was one of the Eminem ones, yeah. I think it would have been my very, very first album that I'd purchased like with my own pocket money, like saved up on that.
Is there a song that you wish you wrote? Like a song that you listen to and you're like, this is the perfect song. I wish I wrote it.
Yeah, there is, and it's not out, and it's one of Aitch's tunes.
It's one of Aitch's tunes?
Yeah.
You wish you wrote an Aitch tune?
He knows exactly what tune I'm talking about when he's listening to this. He knows the one that I love. Yeah.
But I feel like there's a little bit of admiration with you and Aitch. Is there a little bromance there?
I don't want to say there's definitely a bromance because that's kind of weird coming out of my mouth. I wouldn't say admiration, but it's just like, you know what it is? I've met a lot of rappers that are quite a lot older than me that I've still got respect for, but I don't look for them for like advice or like to teach me something. But where obviously he come in the game fast from outside of London at a young age, similar to me. So I feel like he's gone through everything that I'm going through and about to go through for the next few years, and has a lot of insight on certain things I'm going through, and we talk a lot in it. So yeah, there is that, if you want to call it admiration or bromance or whatever word you'd like to use for it.
I love that for you lot. It's a cute bromance. It is. What is your actual height?
I don't know. I'm too scared to measure myself or ever tell anyone.
You don't want to know?
It depends what gal I'm chatting to, innit? And if I've met them before.
Do you sometimes say like 5'11"?
Like, no, because that's bait. I'm going to walk into the, like, wherever I'm meeting.
But you could wear like a boot. You can make yourself 5'11".
Imagine I go link a girl off Insta in boots.
Just wear a little boot.
Nah. The max height I can get is probably a pair of McQueens. But
what is your, like, roughly, would you say you're like
I'd probably say like
5'6"?
I'd say 5'6", 5'7". But I'll tell a girl 5'8".
Do you ever wish you were a bit taller?
No, I don't wish to change anything about myself. Never.
Love that.
Was made the way I am for a reason.
That's the energy we love. What's the most useless thing that you spent money on?
Oh, there's a pair of them. I buy like brand new clothes and lose them all the time.
You lose clothes?
Yeah, just like out of nowhere. They'll be in my yard one day and just gone. Like, or like I wear it to
Someone's
a shoot.
robbing you, bro.
No, but they're not. This is the thing. Like we'll be in the car and it's mad. I would lose my own head if it weren't screwed on my shoulders. Other pointless things I've bought that I've lost. No one in the back even knows this, but that Nintendo Switch that the man then bought, by the way, that time we all bought Switches together, that got gone in like a week, by the way. I didn't even play it.
So you just lose stuff?
Yeah, lost all the time. So I don't think I make pointless purchases. I make purchases that I think I need at the time, and then clearly I don't need them because I forget about them. And then a month down the line, I'll remember and I've lost it.
You realise you're making far too much money.
Maybe.
So you would not have said this a year ago.
No chance. I literally had this conversation with my business manager the other day, like, bro, I used to live off 2 bills a month. How am I spending this much money a month? And he's like, yeah, but you've come to a new lifestyle and it comes with it. And I'm like, no, we need to go back to the roots. I need to grab a pot noodle or something, bro.
You lived off 2 bills a month?
If that, like, just whatever money I'm got, I'm just saving it and stretching it. You see, like, you know when you're younger and now, like, you get your first payday or something and you'll spend like bare of it at first, and then you have like £50 left, and that £50 will last you to your whole next payday.
I say you live off £200 a month. That's normal.
Yeah,
living off £200 a month. But to get
when
to
I was
where
younger, it wouldn't have even been. That was just like a number.
But to get to where you are now, that's a. If you think that a year ago you were living off like £200 a month,
it would have been less than that a year ago.
Like, how do you even wrap your head around how much your life has changed?
Do you know
how
what
do you stay sane?
I have a close team that one looks after me and keeps me grounded, and like where I'm around the same man that I've been around, they don't act no different around me, so I don't feel to act different around them. Obviously, I feel like what changes people is as they project, whatever the word is, themselves up in the world, and you meet kind of bigger and bigger people, you change, because whoever you're coming around that's in that different league of people, you adjust to the people around you, innit? Like I said, that's like instinct kind of thing. But I just keep the same people around me. I think that's it. And it's not like only me's looking after my money. I've got my uncle, my business manager, and I've got family and close people involved to make sure that everything's a tight ship all the time.
ArrDee, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
My guy.
Let's go.